What is going on, y'all? My name is John, and this is Facemask Fantasy, bringing you new fantasy content every day right here on this channel. So if you have not subscribed already, please hit that button. And before I get into it, I just got to let y'all know that we are rolling out live streams. We have a live stream every Sunday at 10 a.m. to go over start-sit questions pre-kickoff, and we have a stream every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. to go over everything that happened in last week's games and to go over waiver options before the waiver deadline early Wednesday morning. So tune in with us every Sunday and every Tuesday throughout the season, and hopefully we can help you win your fantasy leagues. But without further ado, let's get into some fantasy talk. And today we're talking to Ernest Johnson because both lead backs for the Browns look to be out for Week 7's game. The NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported that Kareem Hunt is expected to miss several weeks with the calf injury and could even land on injured reserve after picking up the injury late in last week's game. And Nick Chubb was already out for Week 6 against the Cardinals with a calf injury himself after not practicing all last week and is firmly questionable for Week 7. Compounding this is the fact that the Browns are back on the field in 3 days for Thursday Night Football, and Ernest Johnson and Demetric Felton are the next men up if Nick Chubb remains out for the Browns' date with Denver. Now, we've already been over Demetric Felton in another video. If you want to learn more about him, check it out on our channel. But who is Ernest Johnson? Ernest Johnson had a roundabout route to the NFL after a solid 4-year college career for the South Florida Bulls, where he rushed 421 times for 1,176 yards and 16 touchdowns, while also returning kickoffs and punts. He ran a 4.81 in the 40 at his pro day, no less, which is typically not even good enough to warrant undrafted free agent territory as far as running back measurables go out of college. And how they translate to the NFL, it looked like, despite a solid college career, he was destined for other things in life. And then his career was saved by the short-lived Alliance of American Football, or AAF, which existed for 8 games in 2019 as an off-season league to the NFL, where fringe NFL players past their prime or players that just never had the talent to cut it in the NFL could at least play football professionally and maybe earn a spot on a 53-man roster. Ernest Johnson played for the Orlando Apollos, where he sported a league-leading 5.81 yards per carry average while finishing tied for second in rushing yards with 372 before the league folded. Johnson also added 220 receiving yards, which made him tops in the AAF in total yards from scrimmage with 593 yards in 8 games. As a result, on May 17th, 2019, the Browns signed Ernest Johnson after the league had folded, and he managed to stick around on the team as a depth running back going into the 2019 NFL season. He finished the 2019 season with 4 rushes for 21 yards and 6 catches on 7 targets for 72 yards through the air. No touchdowns in 2019. In 2020, he again stuck around on this roster as a depth running back, but in Week 4, when injury struck for the Browns, Ernest Johnson came off the bench for an injured Nick Chubb, who exited in the first quarter after having his leg rolled up on, while Kareem Hunt did not play either as he was limited with a groin injury in practice throughout the week. So with the backfield to himself, Ernest Johnson rushed 13 times for 95 yards on October 4th, 2020. On October 5th, the very next day, Nick Chubb went on IR, and then in the following week, while sharing the backfield with a relatively banged up Kareem Hunt, Ernest Johnson only rushed 8 times for 32 yards, and he caught his only target for 4 yards in Cleveland's Week 5 win over Indianapolis. So for the second straight week, Johnson flashed explosiveness, and I remember he was a hot waiver claim after that first week, and many had high hopes for him after that second outing. Then Hunt came all the way back from injury, he was all the way healthy, and Johnson was relegated to mop-up duties. He rushed 4 times for 1 yard and failed to catch his lone target. And throughout the rest of the season, he saw more than 3 touches only once more. In Week 14 of last season, where he rushed 4 times for 24 yards and did not contribute in the pass game at all. With their 2 lead backs back in the fold, he was an afterthought. And coming into 2021, he was once again an afterthought, but is now possibly being thrust back into the fire as an injury replacement along with rookie Demetric Felton for Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, who are both banged up at the moment. So can he replicate the minimal success he had in 2020 as an injury fill-in again in 2021? Looking at the numbers, I really can't see why not. Ernest Johnson is in his 3rd year in the NFL and still has a 5.0 yards per carry average, which is impressive, and the Cleveland Browns are the #1 team in the league in team rushes per game and 27th in the league in team pass plays per game, which plays well to Ernest Johnson's skill set more than it does to Demetric Felton's. Ernest Johnson does not not have the athletic profile that I typically chase. 4.81 40 speed for a running back in the NFL, specifically today's NFL, is literally unheard of. But if you're getting significant touches as a rusher for the most run-heavy team in the NFL right now with little to no competition, you'll be somewhat of an asset in fantasy that week. And I could see him having similar impact that he did last year again this year. And I think he can be a solid, if unexciting, low-end RB2 flex play for however long he's the lead back for the ailing Browns. That is before he fades back into oblivion when Chubb gets back. And when Chubb is back, we should expect a stat line resembling the 8 rushes for 32 yards and 1 target he got while playing alongside Kareem Hunt as the RB2 just last season, the game after Chubb went on IR. Now, of course, the injuries to Hunt are of the long-term variety, and if news came out within the next few days that Chubb is dealing with a long-term injury too, I'll be singing a different tune, because at that point, you're looking at a possible RB2 for the next few games, not just one game. But that doesn't look like the case right now. While Hunt looks to be long-term, 6 weeks, Chubb is more day-to-day or at worst week-to-week at this point. And with Felton now in the fold, literally any pass-catching upside that D'Ernest Johnson had in 2020 is pretty much mitigated. So the bottom line for me here is that this is athletically a prospect that I am not remotely high on. But if he gets the sole first and second down back duties with Chubb and Hunt missing week 7 or any significant amount of time, he'll be a touchdown dependent low end RB2 for however long both are out. And as soon as Chubb gets back, which may not happen on a short week, so we may be waiting until week 8, I see Johnson as an RB4 that you're hoping gets a touchdown on the goal line with his 8 allotted touches and mop-up duty. And as soon as Hunt and Chubb are healthy around Thanksgiving, D'Ernest Johnson is waiver wire fodder. I'm really only looking at him right now if I'm dealing with injury. Maybe I had Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb, so I need somebody else who can fill the void while they're out. At that point, I'm interested. Maybe you had CMC coming into the year too, and you're literally devoid at running back. Then of course he's an interesting pickup. But if you don't absolutely need him for this week, then I don't recommend you pick D'Ernest Johnson up, because by week 8, I believe Chubb is back, at which point you're stuck wasting a roster spot and wasting needed fab. But that's not to say that he can't serve a purpose week 7 if you need him. So what do you guys think about D'Ernest Johnson? Put your thoughts in the comments section below. My name is John with Facemask Fantasy, bringing you new up-to-date fantasy content every day right here on this channel. So if you have not subscribed already, please hit that button. Thank you for listening and have a great day.